Rachel Kirk here, the Woo Woo Guru, Awakened Awareness Day 3. Now, you probably noticed day 1 and 2, we overlap on stuff. And I want you to know that there is so much to discover with awareness. So, of course, things are going to overlap. And of course, lessons are going to need to be relearned. I want to cover a couple of things and really ingrain in you that this is a journey, this is a process, that awareness, we are literally holding within us generations of our past, of people, of our loved ones, of our ancestors, of situations. We are holding them within us. Generations of people that were locked in survival mode because that is who they had to be, because survival was the only way. Now, we are lucky enough to live in a world where we can thrive, where we don't have to just survive anymore, where we can really listen to our bodies and listen to ourselves and listen to each other. What a great opportunity that is. It's no longer about, where we're getting our food from, even though like I know that worry is there, of where with money and with finances and everything, it is a big worry for a lot of people. But we also live in a world where, comparative to the 1920s, comparative to the 1800s, our sources are incredibly different. We're no longer trapped in that kind of survival mode. However, it is ingrained in our bodies. And there was a really interesting study done on mice a couple of years ago with trauma, whereas the mice were in a cage and were electrocuted, where they would, if they touched the cage, like an electric fence kind of thing, if they touched the electric fence, they would get electrocuted. And this had happened over and over and over and over and over again. So 5 generations later of those mice, they reproduce those mice over and over and over again. They were still afraid of the fence, even though they knew nothing of it, even though they took the electric off of it. Those mice were still afraid to get electrocuted. And that's how trauma is stored in our body. And that's the awareness of this as well. We have been in survival mode for so long, and that survival mode is still kept within us from generations past. So the fact that you want to become aware and that you want to, the Chinese cherry blossom experiment. Yes. Yes. Interesting. Yes. So the fact that you want to become more aware in a world where we literally are just in survival mode all the time, I just want to applaud you now, because that is such a big, huge deal. And that is absolutely incredible. And this is how like trauma is stored in the body. We are carrying trauma of generations before us as well. So the fact that we have so many like autoimmune things and things that are there's so much coming at us, and we feel like there's a lot coming at us. There is, because we are a generation that is allowed to finally feel it. We are the generation that is finally just like, man, we have the opportunity to really enjoy our lives. And I don't think in our past generations we had those opportunities because of the survival methods and modes that we have been in and that have been ingrained within us. So the fact that we're here, congratulations. Finally, like finally, we are a generation that is just like, this is enough. Like, we don't need to be in survival mode anymore. And you and the powers to be are constantly trying to put us there. And that's not okay. So this is an amazing opportunity for us to become aware and to not be in survival mode anymore. So, like I said, there's good and the bad of awareness. There's the awareness that, you know, we're becoming more aware, and then you begin to realize how many people actually are not aware in your life. And you become a little bit of a hypocrite. I'm going to say that now. Like, people are going to be like, wow, well, you treated me like this, or you did this and you did that. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore, though. There is a standard of how I want to be treated, how I'm going to treat myself. And if the people around me aren't going to reflect that and step up to the plate and get to know themselves better and become more aware of what they've done and what they have done to me and the reactions that they have, that is not my problem. You walk away from that situation. And hopefully, you walking away puts into perspective for them enough to actually change and do that work. Um, you know, you can't be in charge of them anymore. And that's the biggest. You aren't in charge of someone else's awareness. You're not in charge of them. You're not in charge of them. You're not in charge of them. Like, end of discussion. You're not in charge of them. But awareness really makes you recognize what's important and what isn't. It really, like, before awareness, things were a bigger deal than they had to be. But because of the fact that I developed enough awareness, sometimes, you know, not all the time, but most of the time now, I realize when I'm getting triggered. And that's a really beautiful thing. Sometimes I still fall into those triggers and I'm just like, yo, wish a motherfucker would, you know, like wish you would. Come on. But there's a responsibility there. Now, I have the responsibility to be in charge of when I'm getting triggered. And if I'm going to have people in my life that are actively and constantly triggering me, then I either accept that and accept them, because I have no right to gripe about it. I really, you don't have a right to gripe about it, about people that have been treating you the same way for years and years and years, and you accept them. You accept them. Either you accept them or you don't anymore. And that's going to be weird for them, right? That's going to be weird for them. So I want you to really acknowledge that the hardship of awareness is really seeing other people for what they are, what they have given to you, what they have brought to you in your life. And if it has been nothing but turmoil, if it has been nothing but lack of responsibility, you are in charge now. You have the awareness to either accept them or walk away, because you're not in charge of them. You're in charge of yourself. So you really got to recognize what's important to you and what isn't. Like I said, those 100 things that you wrote down, are you going to bring those people along with you still on this journey to accomplishing all those 100 things? You know, if it comes down to, when you are reviewing the people in your life, the situations in your life, are you still taking them along on this journey? And if you're not, what are we filling in with that capacity? What are we filling into that void now? That great void, you know? Because some people just can't come along for the journey with us. So it really, awareness makes you really responsible, and you realize how much time you wasted on being irresponsible, with your time, with your emotions, with your, even your physical body. But there's not a shame in it. You know, there's not a shame in it. I don't want you to have shame there. I want you to have, okay, this happened, but now I'm taking control of it. Now I'm setting the standard of how I want to be treated, who's going to treat me this way, and anybody else kind of falls to the wayside. And that's totally fine. You know, like establishing friendships, there are different friends for different things. Like, I have a lot of really amazing and incredible and great friends. I go to different friends for different things because that's the way it should be. You know, so I don't want you to feel weird of, oh, well, this friendship really isn't for that. Great. You know that. You know what friendships are for what friendships. So because you have the capacity of the awareness developed now, to know what friendships are for certain things. Now, all friendships aren't for everything, like there are certain levels of friendships that they're not going to be the ones you go to for everything. There's a boundary there, either because, the friendship, it wasn't met on that level, and that's okay. Like there's different levels of things, there's different levels of people. I want you to, the awareness that you have developed is important because it allows you to really see and feel who has access to you, on what levels they have access to you. And this is a good area of discernment to have, because not everybody should have all access to you. Like, let's be clear about that. This is what awareness is. Like, not everybody should have access to every level of you. So when we start developing awareness and we become more and more aware of the person we want to be, who we are, the degree of where you can grow to is directly proportional to the amount of truth you can accept about yourself without running away. And awareness teaches us to really be in love with ourselves. And, the synonym for being in love with yourself is narcissism, which is crazy. I want you to be in love with yourself. I want you to love yourself deeply to the point, excuse me, you are moving fluidly and fluidly within the world. There's a flow to you. There's not questioning who you are. There's not questioning your morals. There's an embodiment there that you are a great person. You know that what you are putting out there is best for yourself, but it's also best for the world at the same time, because you're part of a bigger mission. That is why you're here. That is why we are in this course together. That's why we have developed this awareness, because we know that we are part of something greater. We know that we are aware of the trajectory of who we want to be. And like I said, some people can't come along for the ride with us, but it's up to you to practice that discernment, to practice that, okay, if I want to have a relationship with this person, and I know there are people in your lives that you want to have a relationship with, but they're triggering because they don't have the education that you have. They don't have the ability to really understand what's going on. But you do. You know that a lot of it is a trauma response. The way they behave is a trauma response. And it's hard to get out of that cycle. But the fact that you're here is the biggest factor of the fact that you are here to really step into your power and awaken your awareness within you, because you don't want their behavior to affect you the way it has. And a lot of us are living with such deep embodiment of what others of others' expectations. Like it's a cloud that falls over our lives. That's why I had you write the 100 things down, to really put into perspective what matters and what doesn't, because that allows you to take full responsibility of your life. And a lot of people live in non-responsibility. And it's very hard to process things when people don't take responsibility. That's why becoming aware is important. So I want you to really clarify your values, your goals, and your intentions for your personal growth and transformation. A lot of you said you were in a transitional phase right now. And I want you to know that, like, that life is just a series of transitions. But we are all interwoven and interconnected. The people that have come into your life have been in past lives with you. And maybe it's the same people, and maybe it's the same lesson that you're repeating over and over and over again. And I want you to really review like your past of if there was a theme, not necessarily people, but has there been themes that have been repetitive? Somebody taking advantage of you, somebody making you feel small. And if there has been that theme, let's recognize it, but let's also let it go and release it. So one of our tasks today is I want you to imagine blowing up a balloon. And within this balloon, you're going to fill it up with your fears, your insecurities, your self doubts, your struggles. Maybe fill it up with people that no longer serve you. So blow it up. What are you putting into it? Imposter syndrome, bad thoughts about yourself, past experiences. When you're done filling it up, I want you to let it go. Let it go. Let it go and watch it float away. Watch it float away. It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it just keeps floating and floating away. Floating. And you can't even see it anymore. It eventually disappears. I want you to continue to practice this and really breathe into it. That's such a release in itself, like the jaw that you're creating, like the tension in your jaw that you're creating is really just like a really big let go. It's a somatic exercise of just the creation of that is a let go and a release in itself, because you're releasing that tension. Like you're creating the tension, but you're also releasing it as well, because when that jaw releases after you've just exhausted all of that, oh, it's such a beautiful release and such a beautiful let go. So that's why, just those unhelpful beliefs, picturing that balloon being filled up with them is so, so important, because it's allowing you to maintain the awareness and presence of things that are caught within your brain, things that are caught within your body that you're allowed to reflect on, and you're just letting them go. And they're going further and further and further away from you. And the point is to have this practice and to do it over and over again. This way, you get to a point of mindfulness and awareness that you don't even need to practice with the balloon anymore. And you can do this with specific situations. You can do this with things that you just have to let go of. Like I find, like, as I'm blowing out, I say, I let go, 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 I let go. I'm repeating it over and over and over in my mind. And as I let that balloon go, and I just picture it just going further and further and further until it's a speck, and then until it disappears. It's a really beautiful process. Good morning, Yara. Thank you for being here. Um, so yeah, really letting go of old beliefs is going to give you the power to step into your awareness even more. It allows you to take responsibility, but it allows you to really process the past that you want to let go of, whether that's people, whether that's beliefs, whether that's just, old values. We got to redo stuff. We got to redo and implement as we grow. You are literally becoming the person that you want to be, that the person of feeling, a person of complete consciousness, a person of complete awareness. And, there's such a connectedness. Like, we all are here right now together. Like, this was made for us. This moment has connected us. But we've been interconnected for past generations, past lives. And we're here now, still working on this. And hopefully we'll get to that level of awareness where we feel we don't need to be a part of this anymore. We don't need to deal with these certain situations. Like, to the point where it's honestly, a lot of people will likely look at you and be like, wow, it's amazing how embodied she is. And it's so intimidating to some people as well. Like, people get scared and they get intimidated when people are so aware of themselves, when they walk with their chest out and with this highness of themselves, that they think that they're self-obsessed. They think that they're narcissists. And it's just, that's not what we're going for, but that's how some people are going to react to this. And I want you to be prepared for that. They react and think that you're so toxic, that you you think you're so good because you're so aware now. Yes. Yes, I do. I think I'm fucking wonderful. I think I'm excellent. You know why? Because I know the work that I've put in. Thank you. And that's part of the awareness as well, is just letting those people be. And just saying, the power that you give to somebody else by just letting them know, hey, you're right. You're right. It's the most powerful and powerless statement at the same time. Because that's what this is. It's really the ebb and flow of this, of, hey, I know who I am. I know what I embody. I am aware of who I am. I know what I am putting out there, and I know who you are. Like, it's the awareness of letting people be who they are and being totally okay with how they are being, as long as it's really not affecting you, and not letting it affect you, because you are not responsible for other people. You are responsible for yourself. You are not responsible how they react to you, but you are responsible for putting up that boundary of, hey, this is how I deserve to be treated. And not giving them proof of it either, because the proof is there already. Like, not guiding them to that proof, not giving them a list of reasons why. If you need to give somebody a list of reasons why to appreciate you, get them the hell out of your life. Like, if you're just like, I did this for you, I did that for you, blah, 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 blah. Nope. No. Be empowered, be aligned with who you are, be aware of who you are, because you are here in this moment right now because you wanted to work on yourself, because you deserve to work on yourself, because you wanted to expand your consciousness. And you are not responsible for people that won't expand theirs. You can guide them gently, but we're not giving them reasons. We're not giving them lists of the reasons why they should do this. They need to wake up. They need to wake up. And there are some people that just don't want to, and that's okay. It's not okay, though, for you to continue supporting them through your life. They need to do this work. It's not your responsibility. So let go of old beliefs, let go of old people that don't serve you. There is an acceptance there. There is an acceptance of, some people are just stuck in survival mode, and that's not your responsibility. It's not. So keep expanding your consciousness. I always recommend meditation and visualization, doing energy work, really helping yourself kind of discuss the challenges that you face on a daily basis, but is it a larger theme in your life as well? Like when you wake up in the morning, like, are you feeling good? Are you feeling good when you wake up in the morning? Like, I know every day is different for me, but like most of the time, I feel pretty good. I feel ready to take on the world. I feel happy. If you're not feeling like that, and that is a consistent theme in your life, that's something to reflect on. That's something to become more aware of. Like in the morning, do you feel good? Do you feel good when you wake up? Like, because I was living, I'll share this real quick. I was living where I loved waking up in the morning, but I hated going to bed. I hated going to bed. I would leave the TV on, look at the TV, and mindlessly scroll because I was so scared for the day to end because it meant that I didn't accomplish anything. Like that's how I felt. And reflecting back on it and like reflecting during the day of just being like, I did a lot today. There's actually a lot that I did. I rarely don't do anything, like very rarely. Like just sit in bed all day and watch TV. But even that, on my least productive days, I'm still productive. And that's the point of awareness as well, is really reflecting on a day-to-day basis of what you really did today and knowing that you rarely just do nothing. And honestly, the days where you overdid it are probably evening out the days where you don't do anything. And that's awareness as well. Like just being like, man, I may not have done this today, but look at everything that I've done over time. Like, I was on overload as a trauma response for years, always trying to figure out how to overachieve on a daily basis to the point where I couldn't even see where I was achieving. I couldn't even see it. I couldn't appreciate it. So start applying these awareness practices in your daily life. When you wake up in the morning, are you feeling good? Reflect on the day of wins, like, oh, I cleaned the dining room today. Oh, I finally took down the party decorations. Oh, I'm actually going to shower today. And in that shower, I'm going to be aware in that shower. I'm going to really shampoo my hair for at least 3 minutes because apparently you're supposed to do that. I didn't know. But like, like really like appreciating yourself, putting value into yourself. That is what awareness is. To have those moments of showing yourself love, of truly doing things properly and seeing them through. It's almost like a recipe, like what is your daily recipe for success for yourself? That's awareness. Were you in control of your emotions? Did your emotions get the better of you a certain day? Reflecting on it at the end of the day, not necessarily journaling. I know some of you don't like to journal, but like you don't even have to journal. Reflecting though, being in that reflection. Reflection is awareness. If you are able to really reflect on, okay, my emotions got the better of me today. Why? Like, where is the why? What is the why? And being able to reflect on that. But with that list that I had you create of the 100 things, it really puts into perspective what is important to you and what is not. Like, how do you get to the point where if you had everything on that list, those 100 things were accomplished, how would you feel? You'd feel pretty freaking phenomenal, right? You'd feel so good. You'd feel so accomplished. I want you to feel that way every day, because you should feel that way every day. Because let me tell you something, you have accomplished things in your life that you didn't even think you were going to do. And you have so many of those things. And I want you, that's why I had us, I had you comment, and if you haven't done this, please do it, of like the 10 things that you haven't accomplished, but 5 things you have. like really looking at that, really looking at the things you have accomplished so far. Maybe we should do 100 things we have accomplished thus far. This way you can really reflect and be aware of the person you are right now and everything that you have done to get yourself here, in this moment. Because in this moment, this is the defining moment of, wow, I am here right now. I am responsible for my past, but more importantly, I'm responsible for my future. I'm responsible for feeling good every day. I'm responsible for feeling great every day. I'm responsible for every moment here on out, as I have been responsible for every moment that got me here. This is awakened awareness. You are responsible for every single moment from here on out. It's a blessing and a curse, like it's a big blessing to be this aware, because that is the responsibility right there. And this is your fucking life. This is your life. This is your life. And sometimes we put so much hold in other people's beliefs and opinions about us. And that's a generational trauma as well. And that's what we're breaking here today. That's why you are here. You are breaking that. You are saying, I take complete responsibility for my past. I take complete responsibility for the decisions I have made, for the moves that I've made, for the people I allowed in my life. I take responsibility for that. And that's acceptance. Because once we finally accept, once we finally take responsibility, guess what we can do? We can change that behavior, baby. We can change. We can change, and we can look at ourselves and take what we don't want and put it to the side and say, nope, we don't want to be like this no more. We don't want these ethics. We don't want these standards. That's the old version of us. The new version of us takes responsibility, but also is aware of the steps we need to take in order to accomplish all of those 100 things we wrote down, in order to accomplish what matters to us. This is the standard. This is the boundary. This is the activation. This is awakened awareness. Because it's so important to embody. Like you don't have to, like, practice makes perfect, right? Life is just a practice. We're just consistently practicing who we want to be. And embodying those standards is the next step, of awareness, is embodying those standards. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. But as we practice this embodiment of the person we want to be, like, if you wanted a big thing, everybody wants to be a millionaire or a billionaire, whatever. Everybody wants all of that money. Everybody wants, to wake up with ease on a daily basis. Why can't you do that now? Why does it matter how much money's in your bank account in order for you to wake up with ease and be happy? I get the stress of it and everything like that. But if you aren't treating yourself good now, you're not going to be treating yourself good if you get that $1 million. And that $1 million isn't even possible because the energetic vibration that you are putting off is somebody that's stressed, is somebody that's overwhelmed, is somebody that is distracted, is somebody that's disassociated. If you don't have that frequency and are living in that vibration of deserving, of being open to receive goodness, of putting the goodness out there, of putting the respect out there for yourself, the love out there for yourself, then the energetic frequency and what you are calling in is not that of somebody that's a millionaire. It's not that of somebody that is energetically wealthy. Because you don't believe you deserve it right now. Because you are not in receiving of it right now. Because you are blocked from it. Because you have a standard of how you are treating yourself. And that standard ain't good, you know? And that's what awareness is as well. Awakened awareness is really treating yourself like you are that fucking millionaire already. Like you are that boss already. Because you should be treating yourself like that. And that opens you up to the capacity to receive more. It opens you up to the capacity of, hey, I'm treating myself like this because I deserve to be treated like this. And that opens you up to other people treating you this way as well. And once you get that magnetization down of that standard, that energetic frequency, then everything starts happening for you. I had one of the girls yesterday message me and say that, you know, the emotional intelligence part, like she was just like, I never realized like that emotional intelligence is key. Like the emotional education is really key. And we have been taught for so long not to handle our emotions. Emotions were weakness. You shouldn't feel nothing. You should be a robot. That's not true. Emotional intelligence is the key to our high vibrational frequency. As we become more awakened and aware, as we become more available to those high vibrations, you know, that's the more development of awareness. So I want you to find a space to manifest your vision. Find a comfortable and quiet space where you can relax and I want you to take a few deep breaths and really get centered. And I want you to begin visualizing your ideal future. What does it look like? No limitations, no constraints. Imagine every aspect of yourself. Imagine every aspect of your life exactly as you want it to be. What does your career look like? What do your relationships look like? What does your health look like? What does your personal fulfillment look like? I want you to engage all your senses to make this experience as vivid and immersive as possible. Like, if you were a millionaire, what music would you be listening to? If you were fully embodied, what sounds would you hear? Would you be more aware of the sounds going on around you? Would things smell different? Would things taste different? Would there be different textures? Make your dream a reality. You know, imagine yourself stepping into this future reality, fully embodying the person you aspire to become, feeling the confidence, the joy, the awareness, the embodiment, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your deepest desires and intentions. Really reflect on the things that you want and the person you want to be. The person you want to be is within you right now. It is you. You are this person. Call that person in. I want you to really go through just real quickly the person you want to be in the future. Let's live that life right now. Let's live that day right now, the 24 hours right now. So you open your eyes in the morning and you wake up. And what are you doing today? What's going on today? Do you have clients today that you're meeting? Are you going to the beach today? Are you going to an art gallery? Are you going out for lunch? Review your day and just go through the flow of what your day would look like. What are you going to be eating? Do you have a private chef cooking you dinner? Are you going to take a couple hours, go to the park and read a book? What does your day look like? And then we've gone through our day, just real quick, of things you want to accomplish for that day, what that day would look like. And then you have a night routine. Are you getting ready for bed? Do you have special pajamas that you're putting on? Is there a face cream that you put on? Maybe it's $1,000,000 face cream. Maybe it's $1,000 face cream. Maybe it's, the same face cream you're using now. And then you get into bed and maybe you read a book before bed and you shut your eyes and you go to sleep. And then you wake up the next morning and repeat it again. I want you to take a moment to express gratitude for this future vision, acknowledging the power of your imagination and intention to create such positive change in your life. And return to the present moment. I want to reflect on what makes this vision possible today versus what makes it possible in the future. Because as you start envisioning this, there is something that you can take from that dream today and implement it into your daily life today to get you that much closer to the person that you want to become and the person you want to be. Because every action you take brings you one step closer to manifesting your dreams, to manifesting the person that you want to be, to developing this awareness even more. There are things that millionaires do on a daily basis that are the exact same way we do things. They need to be a little tweaked, but honestly, it's really the same thing. There's an awareness there of, okay, this is the person I want to be. And it's the same person you are in the future. You're just doing things better. You're doing things more differently because you're treating yourself differently. And that's where it starts. It starts with really envisioning this future reality now. Like, what steps are you taking now to become that person? Like, is that person really going to put up with somebody else's lack of awareness? No, we're done there. We're done with that. We don't do that no more. So what are we filling in that space now? Like, imagine if you only had to take care of yourself. Would you be Superwoman? Because let me tell you something, you are only taking care of yourself from now on. If you have kids and things like that, I get that and everything. But literally, like, When it comes to adults, adults need to take care of themselves. It is up to them. You can provide them with the opportunities to take care of themselves. Give them that opportunity to do so. They need to figure it out. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Write down those 100 things, but also reflect on what you can do today to be that person in the future. You know, there's something you can take. There is something you can take from that vision you created today and implement it right now. My next programs is called Frequency. It's about elevating your vibration, being in the vibration of your frequency. We are all vibrating at different frequencies at different times, but this is really about implementing that higher frequency. This way you could be open to other people bringing in that great vibe to you. And that's a 14-day program. For anybody that participated in Awakened Awareness, it's $123. The normal price for it is going to be $333. So, but that's 2 weeks. So if you want to be a part of that, that is absolutely available to you. We're going to be doing a lot of meditations. We're going to be doing a lot of calling in our guides. And this is going to be, there's going to be lives throughout the group, but there's going to be a lot of individual aids that are going to be sent to you, like PDF files and things like that, that you can implement on a daily basis. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope you get out and ground yourself today a little bit. You know, touch the earth, feel that vibration, become aware of what's going on around you. Become aware of what is in your control and what isn't in your control, and release whatever isn't, because you've had responsibility of it for too long and you don't need to. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Yara and Tabitha, you guys got the Zodiac and Human Design evaluation. So send me your date of birth, the place of your birth, and I will get that information over to you. And all of the information for Frequency will be posted in the group today as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm in awe of you, and you should be in awe of you every single day. Thanks for being here. Awakened Awareness.